Oh, yeah, I noticed these are required.
The next one she'll start again.
Carl probably has another meeting to go to.
The next one, she's better. And then the next one she'll.
Put him up. County attorney.
Your problems again, so
People don't.
I'm going to ask parents that they're giving all kinds of weird treatments. Just what goodness to it. But it does happen that I have some exercises to position my hand. It's a very disturbing condition because it's happened to me twice. A big stress with. Yeah, so now I drive in slowly so I can get next to it.
Well, for a while, it was more like this.
Everything happened for you.
But then, all of a sudden, it happened to me. Oh, yeah, it was certainly good.
Yes. Can you take my blessing? I'll make it if I have to. If I take
That's the tentative events list. And then like if you need to move anything, it's for that. No spilling and then
I was working but when it hits badly, it's like being there's no dizziness or
Okay, good evening, everybody. We're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. I'd like to ask everybody to please rise to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome to our March City of Linden Council meeting. I'll have Ms. Woodward call roll, please.
Susan Bartow?
Yes.
Jenny Benner? Here. Becky Ricketts?
Here.
Marty Sidebottom?
Here.
Vicki Stanley? Amy Stuber?
Here.
Jim Yates?
Here.
John Singler?
Here.
Thank you very much. We do have a quorum. We will proceed. Approval of minutes from February 23rd. That was a council meeting. Those have been distributed.
Motion to approve February 23rd minutes.
And have a second from Ms. Sidebottom. Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. Your March 10th special meeting. Minutes have been distributed as well.
I'll make a motion for the
Thank you.
special meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Bartow.
Second.
A second from Ms. Benner. Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those minutes passed as well. Thank you. Okay, your March 16th caucus meeting minutes.
I have some edits to make, 2 edits.
Very good.
Would you like me to proceed?
Please.
In the 5th paragraph, under the second sentence, the last word in that sentence is cycle. I wanted to add And I have sent these emails to the city clerk, so she has them. So please add, the mayor stated that the council would receive the budget paperwork at the April caucus meeting. And then in that same sentence, or excuse me, same paragraph, the second to last sentence, after the semicolon, I'm asking for the rest of that sentence to be struck or removed and have it read as, the mayor stated, I have the ability to choose, and based on Mr. Owen's discussion here within council, and I can't have the deck stacked against the police department. Councilwoman Stuber asked, who is stacking the deck? The mayor stated, Ms. Spinner, Ms. Ricketts, and Dr. Owens. In my opinion, I'm not going to have those three together coming up with the budget, so think what you want. Further discussion was held, so those are my two revisions.
Is that a motion to approve with those revisions?
Yes, motion to approve with those revisions.
Is there a second? Ms. Ricketts, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
No.
2 opposed. Thank you very much. Minutes pass. Okay, at this time, I'm going to call on Ms. Kaiser, our city treasurer, to read the treasurer's report.
We have a beginning balance of $3,408,073.77, receipts of $1,527,043.60, and disbursements of $443,178.43, an ending balance of $4,491,938.94.
Questions for Ms. Kaiser? Any questions? Thank you very much. All right, time for your police report. At this time, I call on Chief of Police, Dr. Robert Schroeder, please.
Good evening. It's been a bit of a busy time since we last talked. Start with a quick report. In the month of February, we had 85 activities in the Kentucky Ops system. In Linden, 183 overall for the department. Year to date, that makes it 98 for the city of Linden. And hold on, looks like I did that wrong. I got to redo my math there. So that's correct. But we had 363 total. But it is going to be substantially more than 98, so I'll have to redo that math on that. That gives us 81.3% of our activity in Linden for February and a total of 81.5% so far for the year. As I discussed, it's been relatively busy. The first thing we really need to note is that there have been 2 fatalities within about a month or so. Both of those occurred on Hurstbourne Parkway. Both at Ormsby Station, one at each of the intersections where Hurstbourne intersects with Ormsby Station. One is the delayed fatality I talked a little bit about last time, where a gentleman was involved in the accident. We were notified a couple days later that he died in the hospital. So we investigated that with the help of Middletown Police Department. I'm sorry, not that one, I'm sorry. That one we investigated ourselves. The second one occurred at the intersection with the McDonald's. That was a fatality on the scene. A gentleman and his dog passed away in that accident. We investigated that one with the assistance of Louisville Metro Police Department. The investigation is currently ongoing. At the conclusion of the investigation on that one, we'll be speaking with the Commonwealth to determine if charges are appropriate in that accident. We also had a serious overturn collision on Ormsby Station right there at UPS Drive. A lady ran the stop sign, hit another vehicle. The vehicle had 2 elderly occupants. It overturned. They had to be extracted by St. Matthews Fire. Both of them were transported to Uville Hospital with serious injuries, thankfully. There were no fatalities on that, but you will see our cars out in force in the area of Hurstbourne Parkway, just trying to slow everyone down, get everyone to obey the red lights and all that kind of stuff. This month on the 15th, we had a shooting over in the Devonshire Apartments. A gentleman came out found some folks breaking into his car. That is currently under investigation. However, his claim at the scene was that one of them pulled a gun on him when he came out. He returned fire with his AR-15, fired multiple shots. Matter is currently still under investigation. Detective Wampler and Officer Dobbs are doing a very detailed job looking into what happened there. With that in mind, if you have any particular questions about anything on the report, I'll be glad to answer that.
Chief, I'd like to ask you about what happened at Tanner Chase Apartments a few weeks ago.
Yes, sir. We had some juveniles got off the bus and stole one of the maintenance golf carts over at the apartments, drove it back into the Holly Springs neighborhood. It was reported to us that they pointed an AR-15 style rifle at one of the residents. They ran through yards, whatnot. Our whole team went out there where I encountered Councilman Yates. Whole team went out there looking for them. We were able to track them down through the help of a witness who knew who those subjects were. We were able to track them down and speak with them. It turned out it was a paintball gun, but it was certainly a very, very frightening time where they pointed that at multiple folks, scared the heck out of people, and that's one of those situations where it could have ended very, very badly. Thankfully, it had a safe resolution.
I'd like to congratulate you and your department on a job well done. I was looking out the bay windows of my house. I came aware of this. I was out in my driveway bringing my garbage can back, and there was Chief Schroeder out in his car. And he said, "Jim, get back in your house." I said, "What's going on?" And he said, briefly, he said that we got some kids that have taken a golf cart and they possibly have an AR-15 type gun on them. A few minutes later, I looked out at my back of the bay windows, and I could see the officers. They were going towards the threat, not putting up any type of perimeter waiting on, but they were running towards it. And I thought, this is a very nice department that has, their hearts is are in protecting all of us in this room, all the people in Linden. And I would hope we'd never undercut, undermine, or underfund this bunch of fine officers. Thank you, sir, for a job well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any further questions for Chief?
I was going to say, really, the credit goes to the officers, because while I was there, they got there before I got there. They ran right into the face of danger. Speaking of which, we also did, on the 18th, assist St. Matthews Police on the active shooter they had in Baptist Hospital. Our officers were on scene and assisted them with that as well until they were relieved by the St. Matthews SWAT team.
I have a question.
Yes.
What percentage of police vehicles are marked versus unmarked? Because last week, I think there was a story that was relayed about somebody thinking that there was a person casing their house and it ended up being an unmarked police car. And so I'm just curious, because I think it is important to have a presence, like you're saying, to help with these traffic issues that are going on. So if you could just clarify.
I don't know the exact percentage. We have two officers that are dedicated to traffic cars. They make runs, but when they're not making runs, they're doing traffic enforcement. Both of those have unmarked cars. Myself, Deputy Chief Thomas, and Major Tucker have unmarked cars, and the two detectives have unmarked cars. The rest of our fleet is all marked.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
What's our staffing like right now for the police department?
We have 30 officers, 28 full-time, 2 part-time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Okay, I'm going to make a little change to our agenda here. Just want to take the time to introduce Mr. Carl Price with the County Attorney's Office. He's been making his rounds to some of the home rule cities, so I want to go ahead and give you an opportunity to speak, sir, before we move on with the rest of our agenda.
All right, thank you, Mayor. As you've indicated, my name is Carl Price. I am a candidate for the Jefferson County Attorney's Office this cycle. You all may know that Mike O'Connell has occupied that space for a great deal of time. He is retiring. So it's me and my opponent. I bring 25 years of prosecuting, nearly 25 years of prosecuting a prosecutorial experience to the county attorney's office. I spent 25 years there, prosecuted in almost every division that exists in that office, from the firearms to domestic violence to child support to dog bite cases. John's heard this before, but I'll tell you all, I haven't been to juvenile. I refuse to go to juvenile because I was born and raised here in Louisville. My mother had 16 kids, 8 boys, 8 girls, 4 sets of twins, and she had a certain way of disciplining us. And I just figured that if I stay out of juvenile court, I wouldn't have to apply the discipline to them as my mom applied to me. But I believe that as county attorney, we can improve the court experiences for victims, police, and families. Obviously, public safety and crime prevention would be one of our priorities. And something that I believe is really important, and that is mental health and addiction issues as a cause of crime, to make sure that we are focusing on that and trying to merge the criminal justice system in some way with the clinician space here in Jefferson County. We believe that smart prosecution works because it has a tendency of keeping communities safe, efficiency in courts, reducing any backlogs that are there when individuals go to court today, especially in Jefferson District Court, where the county attorney has the jurisdiction. Cases are passed sometimes 30, 45 days at a time. Not only is that possibly an inconvenience to the individuals who are coming to the court system other than the defendant, but it's also resources, each time that cases continue. Fairness and accountability, that's a spectrum there. I just simply don't have enough time to really talk about my experience in the county attorney's office and my focus on accountability. But as an experienced prosecutor, I believe that I got results for real people, and I think I can do that in the county attorney's office. I'm not a politician, but I've also been told that, if you're not a cook, don't go into the kitchen. So maybe there are some things that I would learn. I just want to make sure that we get the job done, and we get the job done right. So I want to thank you all for allowing me to come out and take some of the time of you all's meeting, and I do apologize, as the Councilwoman Stuber?
Yes, sir.
Stuber indicated, no, not Councilwoman, Councilwoman Ricketts. My office, I had an intern from Western Kentucky for spring break, and so normally when I come to speak at these councils, we try to send a follow-up letter just to say thank you, but apparently that letter got ahead of us because he was there only 1 week, so he was trying to get everything done, and he included Linda, so I apologize for that. But again, thank you all for allowing me to speak, and if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer any. All right.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on. On your unfinished and old business is appointments related to Municipal Order 2-2326. This is your Budget Oversight Committee for the city. Last week, I mentioned that I would have a recommendation for that committee for the citizen at large, and that was Ms. Sharon Morris. Does the council wish to take any action on the appointments?
Also, I've spoken with Mr. Ed Haynes, and he has indicated he's also interested.
Okay. So are you also interested, or so you, Ms. Benner, Sharon Morris, and Mr. Ed Haynes would comprise the committee?
I don't see Deputy Chief Thomas.
And Deputy Chief Thomas, excuse me. I didn't get to see him today. Mr. Haynes, Ms. Morris got to speak a little bit last week, and I certainly would give her that opportunity, but if you're willing and able, sir, and their recommendation, then I'm open for that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Very good. Ms. Morris, do you have anything you'd like to add from? No. Very good. Do we need a motion?
Yeah, I would document it with the motion.
I'll make the motion. Motion to form the, the Budget Oversight Committee with Councilmember Benner, Councilmember Ricketts, residents Sharon Morris, and residents Ed Haynes, and Deputy Chief of Police Thomas.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Give it to Ms. Stuber. Ms. Stuber, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. So I'm sure you'll be with me for whatever documentation you might need to go ahead and get that committee started. Just make sure that you exchange information and keep city clerk or myself in the loop with when your meetings are going to happen. They are open to the public, subject to all open meetings laws, with minutes need to be taken. And then also availability of City Hall. So those things need to be considered before you set your meeting dates. So please keep us in the loop on that, and we'll be looking forward to hearing from you and see what we can get accomplished. Very, very good then. All right, I didn't have anything else on my agenda for the unfinished old business, but if there's anything the council wishes to bring up that we may have forgotten, please do so now. And if not, it's considered new business. We'll move right into that.
I have a question. Last week you indicated that you would give us an idea of what the additional expenses for the streetscape would be?
Yes, ma'am. So,
Linden Streetscape.
Linden Lane Streetscape. Related to that, you'll know that this has been in our budget since last year, and the budget amount for that particular line item was lowered to $305,000. The actual bid amount was somewhere around $400,000, so that will have to be amended in this year's budget before we do continue any work or that gets completed. But just so you know and you're aware of that, that'll be next month as well. For that introduction, I can have all these to pass out to everybody, but the additional lump sum payment for the additional work on this phase 2, which is the other side of the street that hasn't been completed, is a total of $127,400. And this scope of work entertains a little bit of work at the clock tower, which is on the side we've already worked on, but that's $26,900 for 2 sidewalk ramps that are ADA compliant and then color matched with what we've done so far. Phase 2 is electric, and this has been the big issue on the other side, was excavate and install new conduit for phase 2, which is the entire length of Linden Lane between, I guess, Wilt Brothers on that side and the railroad tracks is $68,100, and which leads into what's called asphalt crossing. It's an open cut driveway crossings and install new conduit because they cannot put the conduit underneath the sidewalk as it stands now because of major utilities like the water line are right there. So all the telecom infrastructure that's in place has to go behind the sidewalk footprint, I'll say, which means that we have to encroach into some of the businesses' driveways, every one of the businesses' driveways on that side of Linden Lane. So that requires a trench, basically a 1 foot by 2 foot deep trench that will have that line of conduit run through, and then they'll refill, and it should be phased to where it's going to be least impactful to the businesses on that side of the road. But obviously the rest, like we saw 5 months ago at this point with the other side of the road, there'll be temporary disruption on Linden Lane due to that.
So the conduit's going to go parallel to Linden Lane?
Along the sidewalk, on the back side of the sidewalk where there's grass now. So the parts that there's grass, obviously within driveways for businesses, that concrete or asphalt, whatever they have, will have to be excavated so that they can move the lines to where they need to go.
What about the trees? Is that going to be something else that's going to cost extra? Is that included in the original bid?
No, the tree planting was not included in that. And again, that's going to move on into the fall of this coming year, unfortunately, before we get those put in. So I'm hoping, in the budget in our forestry line item or whatever it is, that if we need 25 trees, however many, wherever they need to go, that we'll have that.
So the trees weren't included in that original 400?
Replanting of the trees was not at the time.
So that'll be something that we need to consider when it's budget time.
Sure. I'd say hopefully we can get some donations either through the city or some of the tree care companies that we do have in Linden that would help us out with that cost, either procuring the trees or both planting and procuring the trees.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions about that? I do want to bring up an announcement, and I think it's important that this year the city of Linden, as well as most of the eastern portion of Jefferson County, are all up for property reassessment by Jefferson County PVA. So your property values most likely will be going up. And this is all determined through the PVA. and you're going to have a right to appeal that property value. So Linden City Hall is hosting officials, Colleen Younger with Property Valuation Administration and some of her staff at Linden City Hall, April 14th from 6:30 to 8. And we're going to have another newsletter hit your mailboxes here soon with some more information, and it'll be posted on our social media and everything else. But the time frame is tight, and I guess I didn't print that off, but if your house is going to be reassessed, you will get a postcard in the mail with a color photo that says how much your property is reassessed at on, I believe it's April 24th, that they're sending those assessment notices out. So this meeting and several others throughout the region, one at Linden City Hall, just gives you some more information on how to appeal your property value. And so April 24th, depending on the mail, obviously, you'll have, I think it's 3 weeks. It's less than 20 days. It's a very short time frame to actually appeal your value to the PVA before that assessment takes hold. So it's a big deal. It happens every 4 years, but as you know, with housing markets and some of the prices, and you look at Zillow and see what your house is worth now, you can only imagine maybe what your taxes are going to raise to. So, and that rolls into our budget season, not necessarily this year, but it will next year for the compensating rate and all those things that we've discussed about not being able to increase the city's tax rate over 4% without a public hearing and all that. For the 27-28 years. So hopefully, we can maintain everybody's property tax rate as what we have it. But in any event, this is something that you need to know about because, like I said, the time frame is so short between your assessment and your right to appeal. So the more you know about it, the better. They require some photo evidence if you disagree. They try not to make you spend any money on your own, but you can get a home inspection done or submit photos that show that your bathroom hasn't been remodeled in 30 years, so my house doesn't compare to the other comparables. So there's a lot of things. They try to make it pretty easy for you. It's online. You can go down to their office in person, and there's going to be some more information that's coming out through us, and then also Jefferson County PVA.org or .gov, I'm sorry, Jefferson County PVA.ky.gov, and that's a quick Google search, but start looking into that if you're concerned about your home's value. I thought that was important. That wasn't on your announcements, but I participated in Jefferson County League of Cities, and Ms. Colleen Younger came in last Thursday and talked to a lot of the neighboring home rule cities that are getting reassessed, which, as you know, most home rule cities in Jefferson County are located outside the Watterson Expressway in areas 8 and 9, which are basically the northeast portion of the county. So lots of home rule cities and residents are going to be affected by this. All right, caucus meeting. Our next one is going to be April 20th. 2026, obviously at 6 p.m. And another little mention there is that in between that caucus meeting, I believe it's Wednesday, would be the 23rd of April, we host the University of Louisville Mobile Mammogram. That's usually sponsored by a Metro Council person. This is Metro Council person Scott Reed, who's not in Linden, but again, Linden will be a host site for that mobile mammograms, which is a great success for that. But you can also find, I think we're going to have that on the website tomorrow, so if you need to get signed up to come here to Linden City Hall and go, as a lady into the RV for mammograms, then we're going to provide that here as well. So we've done that annually for the last 6 or 7 years. All right, and then next council meeting is April 27th at 6 p.m. All right, let's move on to other business then, please. Is there any other business?
Michelle.
We can get to that to open floor. I'm just making sure that the council
Oh,
had.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
All right, hearing none, we're going to move forward. Open floor. Just a quick reminder to everybody, the sign-in sheet out front does say we try to limit comments to 3 minutes. If you have something that's particularly engaging and the council wants to allow you to continue, we'll see what happens. So with that being said, Michelle, would you like to come up? Thank you.
The only thing that I have tonight was just to give you guys the list. It's tentative, just for theme nights and the small events that we've got scheduled for the market. We've got a tentative opening date for April 8th. Again, weather permitting. Everybody wanted to get started as soon as possible, but Kentucky weather in April. So I've got probably about 5 vendors that won't be able to join us until closer to May, but that still puts us about 25 to 30 vendors. And then I'm still popping in guest vendors that make sense for each theme week, so we have plenty of space for those people. I had spoken in passing with Vicky a while back, and she mentioned something that you guys might want to do, like a ribbon cutting or something. I'm totally good with that, whatever you guys want to do. I think it'd be fun. The vendors would love it. I know that the city would love it. My only thing was, if the 8th doesn't work, please let me know. And then, because our weather is completely crazy, I would love to have a second date from you guys tonight that I can just like make a note of, just like in case of thunderstorms or, you know, Kentucky tornadoes, that we already have a second date planned, if that makes sense.
Do you know what, are you gonna do 6 to 8 or 5 to 8?
It's gonna be the 5 to 8.
5 to 8.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. We may have a couple vendors that skate in like right on time. There will be a process in place for them to basically kind of, you're gonna park where you're gonna park at that point. You won't have your parking space because it'll be turned off, like the access will, and then they'll just have to come behind everybody. And we should have some like extra, you know, husbands, teenagers, what have you, just people that are willing to go help grab stuff and help them get set up really quick. So just because that is kind of an odd time, but anyway, does anybody have suggestions for a backup night?
I think whatever you tell us is based on your commitment.
Well, because I don't know what everybody's schedule, is there a night that does not work? How about we do that?
It's your, you know.
Yeah.
Well, still,
We're
it's
good.
like if you guys want to come out, you're more than happy to come out.
Well, as soon as you know
More
and
than
confirm and, you know, at least 10 days beforehand so we can promote it as best we can.
Yep,
Just
okay.
so we're there.
Yep,
One
so-
other thing, I'd also like to maybe meet with you or whatever
Yeah.
on site so that we can figure out as a city, what do we need to do to make things, you know, go the most smooth.
Okay.
I just wanted to mention that when we first bought that property and started work on it, we installed some swing gates up at the front of Lincoln
Yeah,
Lane.
I've noticed.
I'm going to have those gates pulled up and then pushed back to the rear half of the property, so where, if you're familiar with our summer festival, when we block off the parking lot for fireworks, it's going to be right there. So that's
Oh,
the
so they
portion.
move- those move?
So
I didn't
you'd be
know.
able to just close those gates on your
Perfect.
nights so that no more vehicular traffic whenever you decided, you know, people
Yeah,
are
'cause
done.
I wanted to get with
That way
you.
you've got those
Yeah.
gates and we're not just
And however you
stringing up
want me
caution
to
tape.
close them, we
Yeah.
can do that.
So
I
we
do
can
have a
do that.
vendor meeting with everybody on site on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. If anybody wants to go, say hi, introduce yourselves, whatever.
I think there's a Parks Committee meeting that's supposed to be that night.
It'll be like in that parking lot though,
Okay.
so.
This Wednesday, tomorrow, I mean, two nights?
On the 25th, yeah, at 6 o'clock. It's really informal. It's basically just so they know what my intent is as far as when they come in, they unload, they go park where my food trucks know where they're going to be. I've got a guy that does POS systems, like card readers. He's going to come and talk with them. We'll quickly go over like the event schedule, answer questions that they've got, and it's an opportunity for them to turn in paperwork for me.
Sure. So
And
if
have
they give
questions for me.
you, if they give you anything else that you know, maybe
Yeah.
we'll meet after that so we can just kind of get
Yeah,
things
not a
together.
problem at all.
And then that way
Well, if you're there, that
we're on the
works
same page.
anyway.
Very good. Well, thank you for your efforts in this. I know a lot of folks are
Yeah, no
excited. I'm
problem.
excited about it. And this is definitely quite the list of things. And
Well, it was just, we're gonna do something every week and make it fun. Some nights it's just as easy as a theme night. So like Strawberry Festival, all of our food people just incorporate something strawberry, have fun with it. You know?
all right. Well, thank
So,
you, Michelle.
Yeah,
Appreciate
you
it.
got a couple extra of these you can leave on the back table for people if they need.
There's some already on the table, I got you. So if nobody's opposed to it, then we'll just do the backup date for the 15th
The next
for the
week.
library. Yeah, and then if it just keeps snowstorm and we'll just push it back another week. We'll figure it out.
Keep us
So-
informed so we can link the city's information with, I saw you created a Facebook page.
Yes, there is
so
the
we wanna be
Facebook
able to
page.
communicate.
Yep,
Very
that
good.
works.
Thank you so
Cool.
much, Michelle.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
Can you tell us
Anybody
what the Facebook page is, real quick?
Yes.
Robesian Park Farmers Market. Thank you.
Robesian.
Robesian, sorry.
ROBSION.
ROBSION,
Yep.
Park Farmers Market.
Very good.
It's on Facebook and there's an Instagram one also, but I am not very good at the Instagram. So just throwing it out there.
Yes, sir.
So I just needed to give a quick correction to Ms. Benner. Major Tucker reminded me that we also have 2 sergeants in unmarked cars, which gives us a rough percentage of 70% marked to 30% unmarked.
So about nine.
Out of 30. If we
Something
have
like
30
that, yeah.
cars, then, yeah.
9 out of the 28.
9 out of the 28.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Members of the public? Anybody else? Come on.
Good evening, Dr. Erling Grice Owens, longtime Linden resident, love our city. I wanted to say tonight that I want to give kudos to several of the council members, and I want to talk about my experience as a community member involved with the Parks and the Beautification Committee. What has become clear over both my experience in that and in attending meetings, being very active over the last year and a half, is that there are 2 just very contrasting visions for what we are as a city. And one vision is the current mayor's vision of the police is the centerpiece, and that the police, as using his words, that anything else takes a back seat. The contrasting view is that we are to be about public safety, community engagement, and that is the view that I have experienced from most of the council members, which I have appreciated very much. Meeting with most of the council members, either at their initiation or my initiation. Larry and I have made multiple efforts to meet with the current mayor and have been declined that opportunity. So, and have been advised that the best, or that the forum, the open forum, is the place to share this information. So I will try to stay within the 3 minutes, although I'll also try to be engaging, because I understand that if I'm engaging enough, anybody got any pom-pom, that I can go longer. But what I want to say is that I am so excited about the farmers market and about the parks, and am thrilled that I have been able to be a part of that process. Here's what I want to say about that, in terms of how these 2 different visions play out, is that there was money made available to upgrade the parks. That my understanding was the COVID money was initially earmarked or whatever for the park upgrade. So that would have been in what, 2002, you know. So fast forward, 2025. So first of all, instead of that money going to the parks, it was redirected to the police. Because the current mayor's vision is more for the police. Everything else takes the back seat. So, fortunately, council members advocated, and for example, Councilmember Stuber made sure, I was here at the meetings and she advocated strongly that adequate money be in the budget, and then she was supported by the majority of the council to to allocate money in the budget. Councilmember Benner, hot on it, jumped out, got a bid from a state-approved vendor, thank you, in July. The budget went into effect in June. She got it in July. Got the council member Stanley initiated, because I said, you know, part of it was I said at a meeting, I want to be talking about other things, including the parks, including our improvements. Councilmember Stanley initiated the Parks Committee and invited me to be on that, and it's been very exciting. That's how we got the farmers market. Then over a period of months, finally in March, we met with the vendor and got the approval that, again, Ms. Benner had initiated back in July. So I want to give that clear distinction, and I want to give clear kudos to the council members, and I really hope that we can continue to pursue that vision. Not to, quote unquote, take from the police. We're very fortunate in that we apparently have a really solid budget, have a really solid revenue stream. And so let's keep doing what makes us not just a police fiefdom, not just a police city, but a city that, yes, has police and also has things that bring us together as a community. Because if the goal is more police, then guess what? That's going to be the solution, is more police. If the goal is public safety, community engagement, development, then we're going to be doing these kinds of things. And so I want to particularly applaud the council members who have been driving that, sometimes at great stress to you. So I appreciate you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. Now.
I'm having a hard time with the definition, Sharon Morris. Having a hard time with the definition difference between police and public safety. We're, as homeowners in this area, we are all coming up with property value assessments. The park is not, and I'm not against parks, the park is not going to help our property values. Crime rate helps your property value, and crime response time helps your property value. So I just want to make sure that we understand that although the parks are beautiful, I think if we look at the percentage of people that utilize police service over the percentage of residents that utilize Robesian Park, that needs to be a focus too. That's all.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
If I might. My name is Linda Cameron. I live at 406 Burke, and I have the privilege and honor of serving on the Beautification Committee, not the Parks Committee, the Beautification Committee. I just want to comment that, yes, I agree with Earlene that the parks are beautiful, and we've got a wonderful agenda that we're looking at and want to go forward with it. Personally, I think we have a very good balance. You can't have parks because parks are a magnet for crime. So we have to have the police to have a good park. We've got streetscape, we've got the parks, we've got the farmers market, we've got the police. As a resident of Linden for 25 years, I think we're very balanced. Now, maybe that's not the opinion of everyone, but that's my opinion. I think we've done a very good job, the committee, the council, the mayor, everybody, trying to keep, it's a difficult situation. You got to balance the budget, you've got to balance the people's wants and needs, and I think at this point, y'all have done a great job, and I think the balance is good. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Anybody else?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Larry Owens, and just to clarify, according to the National Institute of Health, parks increase property values between 8 and 20%. So, just for clarification.
Safe parks. Anybody else? Well, that being said, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Ms. Ricketts,
Second.
is there a second? Ms. Bartow, all in favor say aye. Aye. All right, see you next month, folks.